Hello, my name is Ian, and today I'll be discussing how we can fill the shortage of ventilators due to COVID-19. To help you understand the shortage we have here, in the United States, we have about a total of 160,000 ventilators available to hospitals. Now, only 62,000 of those are fully featured ventilators, while the other 98,000 are basic and they're only used in emergencies. So why are mechanical ventilators even used? So ventilators do the work of the patient's breathing, allowing them to rest and recover when they're critically ill. Now, the reason for the shortage we have is because they cost a lot. They're very expensive. So mechanical ventilators are comprised of several screens, dials, gas tubes, power cords, data cables. They're very complex. So with the complexity of them, that drives the price way up high. So typically they cost between 25,000 and 50,000. So to understand the importance of ventilators, first we must understand how we breathe naturally. So when we breathe naturally, air travels through our mouth or our nose into our windpipe. Then after the windpipe, it goes into our two bronchi. Now there's one bronchi for each lung. So the bronchi then splits into several different smaller tubes, and then at the end of them there is tiny sacs. Now these sacs are called alveoli. There's millions of them within each lung. So the importance of the alveoli is when the oxygen meets that, there's a thin wall that they have. Now the oxygen will cross over through that thin wall into our bloodstream. The blood cells will carry it throughout the rest of our body, and then when the oxygen is used up, carbon dioxide is produced. So then the carbon dioxide hitches a ride back on the blood cell, comes back to the alveoli, and then when we exhale, we release it. So a part of the problem of the shortage is not necessarily ventilators as a whole. It is certain parts that we have a shortage of. So in the early 2000s, we had over 2,000 circuit board shops. Well, nowadays production has moved over to Asia, and we now have fewer than 200 shops to produce circuit boards for ventilators, and actually less than 200 of them are capable of producing circuit boards that are of medical grade. So a solution to this problem is the development of an open source ventilator. Now, using the prototype is a bag valve mask, or BVM for short, also known as an ambibag. They're operated by a person squeezing a self-inflating bladder that is connected to the mask that hooks onto the patient's face. And you commonly see these in ambulances. They're the most simplistic form of a positive pressure ventilator. So it's not mechanical. It's mainly operated by another person. So the principle of this idea is to take the simple design of the ambibag and figure out a way to automate it by using a mechanical arm to eliminate the need of a manual operator. Now, this ventilator can be made from PLA plastics, and this plastic is usually derived from sugarcane or cornstarch. It can be made anywhere with a 3D printer. Now, how is this going to be funded? A company called Mozilla has a funding program that offers $50,000 to each open source technology project. Now, each prototype that is assessed, so each prototype is sent into the company, they look it over, and it has to be well developed. It has to be late into the developmental stage, almost a prototype or a prototype. It can't be like blueprints, it has to be a actual thing. The company looks it over, they look and they see if it actually will work and serve its purpose, and if it does and it meets the requirements, the company will award $50,000 for each of the product produced. So until these open source ventilators are mass produced, there is one thing that we can do to help the shortage of ventilators, and that is just to simply wear our masks and maintain social distancing. By doing these two things, we are slowing the spread down, and that actually helps out the shortage because not as many people are getting sick. So that's eliminating the need for them as much. But until then, thank you for watching.